القواعد من البيت وإسماعيل ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم صدق الله العلي العظيم. أما بعد. To our dear respected ulama, our Imam of the Masjid, our brother Moulana Marwan, respected Huffaz and the committee of the Masjid, our seniors and elders, all thanks and praises are due to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and salutations and greetings upon our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There is a janazah scheduled to take place after the Salatul Jumu'ah, and for that our beloved Moulana has been occupied to ensure that the mayyat arrive here prior to the Salah. May Allah grant sabr to the family, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevate the position and the status of the person who has passed on. Ameen. May Allah let us all take heed and lesson that ultimately this is the final journey for each and every one of us. Sometimes it comes sooner and sometimes later. And while speaking about mayyat and ajal and death, our colleague Sheikh Riyad Fattar was relating earlier this morning. Yesterday, as he was driving to the Muslim Judicial Council, he saw a motorcyclist. The body of the young man was lying somewhere there. And inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. It was a Muslim young man who intended going for Hajj next year with his beloved mother, 26 years old under correction. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken his ruh. May Allah let us all reflect upon the fact that in this very busy schedules of ours and the rat race of the day-to-day life, and the waking up in the morning and the returning in the evening, somewhere between that time or during the night, my name is written by the Malikul Maut that I am also going to be taken. The more we think about death and ajal, the more I think about my death and ajal, the better a person I can be, inshallah. May Allah grant us tawfiq and hidayah. We have entered the season of Hajj, and it is but appropriate for us that we should be able to draw the lessons from Hajj. And the ayat of the glorious Quran which I have recited make references to the construction and the foundation laid by the Abul Anbiya, the father of the Anbiya, Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. The Baytullah is indeed the very first house of Almighty Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala established on the earth and on this dunya. It is a symbol of Tawheed, a symbol of the oneness of Almighty Allah. And the Baytullah is central in the Hajj, and it has remained the Qibla for this Muslim community and the Muslim Ummah, for the global Muslim community for centuries. It is not only the Qibla, but it is also serving as the connection between the servant of Allah with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It also serves as the spirituality, the spiritual development of every single ummati of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And as such, the Baytullah is, as said, the oldest of the houses of Almighty Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, and many lessons Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala has placed through the medium of the Baytullah. The Baytullah has withstood many challenges. It stands as a symbol of Tawheed, but from it, there are many lessons that we can be able to draw from. I would like to draw a few lessons from the Baytullah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right in the beginning of the glorious Quran, Allah speaks about Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam laying this particular foundation of the Kaaba, of the Baytullah, at the very same place where Adam alayhi salatu wasalam constructed the Baytullah. The Baytullah, the Kaaba, has gone through a number of times when it had to be reconstructed. But the very first foundation that was laid was by Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, directly in line with the arsh of Almighty Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. In the arsh, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala has appointed and instructed malaika to make tawaf. On the dunya, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala constructed the Baytullah around which we are being commanded by Allah, وَلْيَطَّوَّفُوا بِالْبَيْتِ الْعَتِيقِ, to make the tawaf around the Baytullah. The Baytullah, being a symbol of Tawheed, is not to be worshipped. If Allah protect, the Baytullah is removed, that very same place where the Baytullah stands today is directly in line with the arsh of Almighty Allah. It will remain significant, the most significant place for humanity. It is central to humanity in his or her connection with Almighty Allah. So after the time of Nabi Nuh alayhi salatu wassalam, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam came, and Allah tabarak wa ta'ala instructed Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam that Allah wants him to reconstruct this Baytullah at the very same place where Adam alayhi salatu wasalam laid the foundation. وَإِذْ يَرْفَعُ إِبْرَاهِيمُ الْقَوَاعِدَ مِنَ الْبَيْتِ وَإِسْمَاعِيلُ رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala now describes us, that how Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala instructed Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam to construct the Baytullah, but with Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, his beloved son Ismail, who has now grown up, that Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam will become supportive to the father in constructing this Baytullah. Now this is a beautiful lesson for us. We are all, and most of us and many of us would be fathers as we are seated here today. Moulana, our beloved Moulana Marwan's beloved son's name is Khalilur Rahman, and he's still very young. In life we are taught by Allah that when you tackle the issues of life and you have a son, make him part of his teaching, his training, his development, so that he can become a shareholder. Ismail alayhi salatu wassalam, despite the fact that laying this particular foundation and building the house of Almighty Allah is such an enormous responsibility, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, by Allah is said that Ismail alayhi salatu wassalam is helping him in the construction and reconstruction of the Baytullah. In relationship, today in the relationship between fathers and sons, we see and we witness and we can testify to it. I also have the father of 3 sons. It is so important to connect with our sons. Sometimes the fathers is at one end and the sons are on another end. Sometimes the distance between fathers and sons are as from the east to the west. Allah must protect. We live in the same home, and in the very same home that we are rearing our sons, they must be able to be connected with the father, and likewise the father must be connected with them, and connectedly we must be able to have common interest. That common interest is what connects us with one another. These days the cell phone has become a great medium of device, of division between fathers and sons. And so Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam is ably supported by his beloved son Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam in the construction. of the Baytullah. The second lesson that we learn from this, Allah Ta'ala says after the construction of the Baytullah, there's a beautiful dua that is commonly recited by us all. And I am certain that we memorize and we have memorized and we do read this dua. After the construction of the Baytullah by both the father and son, Allah Ta'ala places an important dua. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. And there's a second dua and a third dua. But the first dua that is made is the dua that asks Allah, oh Allah, now you have instructed us to construct this Baytullah. You have instructed me and my son to construct this Baytullah. We have done our duty. We have fulfilled our responsibility. Now, Allah Ta'ala praises after the fulfillment of that obligation and responsibility, this particular dua, the dua of acceptance. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا. Oh Allah, accept from us. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam is not told to say, oh Allah, only accept from me. He made the dua, رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا. He didn't say, رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنِّي. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا. Allah, accept from us. Accept from both me and my beloved son Ismail. The dua that we make for our sons, the dua that we should make for our daughters, sometimes in that challenging times when there are difficulty in communication between father and sons, be careful what we utter about our children. We should be able to continuously make beautiful dua for them. And we should be able to make part of the dua is this particular dua. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. Now this particular dua is also referred to in Surah Ali Imran. وَإِذْ قَالَتِ امْرَأَةُ عِمْرَانَ رَبِّ إِنِّي نَذَرْتُ لَكَ مَا فِي بَطْنِي مُحَرَّرًا فَتَقَبَّلْ مِنِّي إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. This dua makes references to the mother of Sayyidatina Maryam. Sayyidatina Maryam make the request to Allah Ta'ala, oh Allah, she became hamid, and I make this particular vow to Almighty Allah, that oh Allah, whomever is in this womb of mine, I will set free to be in your service. Now where does this take place? It takes place in Baytul Maqdis, in the city of Jerusalem, where Sayyidatina Maryam is about to be given birth to by her beloved mother. Sayyidatina Maryam's mother, when she realized that I am hamil and I am carrying this baby in my womb, she turned to Almighty Allah Ta'ala and she take this vow to say, oh Allah, I want to set this child free of mine, so that this child can be in your service. وَإِذْ قَالَتِ امْرَأَةُ رَبِّ إِنِّي نَذَرْتُ لَكَ مَا فِي بَطْنِي مُحَرَّرًا فَتَقَبَّلْ مِنِّي. See here, there Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam makes the dua after the completion of the Baytullah. Year prior, while she is hamil, she makes this particular commitment to Allah, Allah, accept this vow from me. Many a times we find ourselves in a situation where we are seeking a good job, a beneficial income, a good wife, a good home, a good neighborhood, an area where I can be able to rear my children, an area where I can be able to have freedom of living my deen and my religion, where my children can be protected. So now I make that particular dua, I can also be able to say, oh Allah, before I arrive at that point of acceptance, she says to Allah, taqabbal minni. Because she made the dua, she's sole and alone in this particular matter. She says to Allah, Allah, taqabbal minni, oh Allah, accept from me. Innaka anta as-sami'ul alim. Another point that we derive from here is, in the dua there of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ, or تَقَبَّلْ مِنِّي إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. We say to Allah, oh Allah, إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ, you are the hearer, the knower of all. Allah knows the inner and the outer. There's nothing that can ever be hidden from Allah. Alimun Khabir, Sami'un Alim. These are the attributes of the Allah that we worship. This is the Allah that sees us every day in my job. This is the Allah that knows that I am the one that has taken up an amana and I must be able to fulfill my amana. That when I say to my boss that I have Salatul Jumu'ah and I have to leave at 1:45 and I should be back by 1:45. Sometimes we have Muslim people that says the Jumu'ah comes out at 2:30. There's no Jumu'ah anywhere in Cape Town that comes out at 2:30. We are but fooling ourselves. That Allah that we can never be able to fool, know that we are saying what we say. And therefore the more conscious we are of the laws of the knowledge of Allah, the relationship between a husband and wife is sacred. We should not breach the sacredness of a husband and wife's relationship. That is such an intimate relationship between husband and wife that sometimes we create a story so that I can be with somebody else or with a friend. Allah must protect us all. Ameen. Innaka anta as-sami'ul alim. Oh Allah, you are the knower, you are the seer, you are the hearer, you are the knower of all things. Innaka anta as-sami'ul alim. For truly you are the hearer, and you, innaka sami'un alim, you have got knowledge of everything. Therefore, my beloved brothers and sisters in Islam, the laying of this particular foundation of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam lays this particular foundation where we should be able to develop truthfulness, trustworthiness, honesty. And so I like to take us to another point of learning. And we all would know this particular qissa. If Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam's reconstruction of the Baytullah was the second time, then there was a third time. And that was just about 5 years prior to the nubuwah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Quraysh needed to reconstruct or wanted to reconstruct the Baytullah. At that time, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was 35 years old. And so Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in a hadith that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was part of those who carried the bricks and the stones for the particular construction of the Baytullah at that time. But that is not the point that they want to make. The volatility of the Arab tribes amongst each other was well known. That sometimes there is one spark, and it leads to many years of violence. So here was a potential situation of great conflict. The Baytullah is constructed. The Hajari Aswad, the black stone as it is known to us, and for just a reminder to myself and all of us, the Hajari Aswad is that stone that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala sent from the Sama, from Jannah, and Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala sent that stone to the dunya, and it is placed in one of the corners of the Baytullah. It was white, pure white, like pure milk. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, due to the sin of Bani Adam, that stone turned from white to black. Allah must protect. When you look at that particular formation as it is, whoever goes for Hajj, you must look carefully. That entire, whatever there is in there is not the stone. There's only few pieces of the stone that is in there. Because during the years, the type of challenges that the Baytullah has gone through. But now it came to the point, Baytullah is constructed, the various tribes and the leaders are all demanding that we want to place the black stone where it ought to be. And they have their quarrels amongst themselves. They come to the decision to say, okay, let's see various narrations pertaining to this. Let's see tomorrow morning who comes first to the Baytullah. Whoever comes first to the Baytullah, we give him the option to provide us with a solution. And lo and behold, Allah Ta'ala made it such that our beloved Nabi Muhammad, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad, Allah brings our Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to the rescue for the leaders of the various tribes. So now Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is placed in a position to give a resolution or to resolve the conflict or the possible conflict. Some of the commentators say it was very high. The tension was very high amongst these leaders because everybody wanted to have that honor. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with his great hikmah and wisdom, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, okay, let us bring a bed sheet, a sheet. Particular sheet, the black stone must be placed in the center of the sheet. And every one of the leaders of the various tribes must be able to be a fair shareholder in keeping to this particular sheet. And the honor will be that I will place that black stone where it ought to be. Allahu Akbar wa lillahi alhamd. My beloved brothers and sisters in Islam, our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with his great hikmah averted a possible conflict. Today, in the day and age that we live in, the fragmentation in the ummah, there is the slightest issues that leads to conflict. Somebody said something, he's misunderstood how he said it. Whatever has been said is misrepresented by somebody else. The interpretation of what is being said is another thing. And within not only the ummah, but within our own families, within neighborhoods, within jama'ahs and communities and masajid, Allah must protect. We live in an era where it appears the slightest thing leads to an argument. And therefore Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam teach us out of this that deal with every single matter with hikmah. وَمَنْ يُؤْتِ الْحِكْمَةَ فَقَدْ أُوتِيَ خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا. To whomever has been given wisdom, you have been given khair, not only good, we have been given great good. We need to apply the mind. Don't be hasty and in the fury of hours react to issues. Think, ponder, reflect. Think what would be the best way for me to deal with this particular issue or crisis that I'm dealing with. And to whomever, one is to have information and knowledge, but one is to apply that ilm and knowledge. One is to know what to do, but one is to know how to do it. One is to know what to say, but one is to know how to say it, when to say it, in what manner to say it. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam enters, and immediately, therefore, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam khatam al-nabiyyin, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam applied wisdom. He negotiated a settlement amongst the leaders. And therefore, it requires us to have that negotiating skills to say, how best can I be able to resort? لا خير في كثير من نجواهم إلا من أمر بصدقة أو معروف أو إصلاح بين الناس. The islah between the ummah, to bring sulh between two brothers, to bring sulh between two neighbors, to bring sulh between a sister and brother, to bring sulh between a husband and wife, requires an extent of wisdom and hikmah and understanding and cooperation. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gained the confidence of the Arabs. Why? The commentators and historians say, because prior to that already, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was known as Al-Amin, the trustworthy person. Today, my beloved brothers and sisters, we live in a time when we need to develop that trustworthiness. Rasulullah ﷺ taught us, Inna al-birra yahdi, inna sidqa yahdi al-birr. Truthfulness leads to righteousness. We have to be at all cost, at all times, be truthful. When we are truthful, then we develop integrity. When we develop integrity, then immediately people will have trust in us. Rasulullah ﷺ, because he always spoke the truth. He never lied. Rasulullah ﷺ was always honest. He was never dishonest with anyone. Rasulullah ﷺ, when he he used to speak the truth. And so, I and you as followers of this great leader, in this time and time when we are challenged, hold on to these wonderful characteristics. These characteristics that was within the Prophet ﷺ prior to his appointment as a Nabi of Allah. As a human being, we need to have this. As a human being, we need to instill these characteristics in my son and my daughter. Oh my son, whatever your challenges are, never speak a lie. The qissa of the great saint of Islam, Sheikh Abdul al-Jilani, rahmatullah alayhi, comes to mind. Subhanallah, when his mother told him, my beloved son, never speak a lie, irrespective of what you are faced with. Teach our children to be honest, hardworking business people, but don't steal from the time of the boss. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my beloved brothers, we have entered into the season of Hajj. May Allah let us learn from the Baytullah. Let us learn from the lessons of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let us carry forward being the true ambassador of this great leader for humanity, so that humanity can be able to be led by great people like yourselves who carry the shahada of Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all Hajj, all Hujjaj, Hajj Maqbool Mabrur. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them good health and safety, and may Allah grant them to be spiritually inspired, that when they return, inshallah Aziz, we can be able to gain from the many, many lessons that they have gained. But for all of us, let us continue with the lessons that the Baytullah share with humanity, so that we can be able to become better servants of Almighty Allah.